Drive Time Discussion Time.
Welcome to Drive Time Discussion Time with your host Taylor Frey, the one-man podcast with one infinite amount of stories and opinions, not featuring one truck for this week. I'm actually sitting in my living room right now, so it's even less soundproof and echoey because there's nobody here. Yeah, I did this today because it's nice outside, even though I don't want to drive. So here I am, speaking into a Blue Yeti microphone in the middle of my, dining room table. And today I kind of just want to sit back and talk a little bit about anime, because who doesn't love anime? Am I right? You clicked on this because you saw the Japan icon and you saw the anime in the title and instantly clicked because you were interested to hear my thoughts and opinions on not only Winter 2020's anime, but also give my thoughts on what I think about the Spring 2020 lineup. And I'll go over it briefly. I'll go over both of those briefly. I don't know how long I want to record today's episode because I don't have a specific destination that I'm driving to like I always do. Yeah, there's that. Winter 2020 is just about ready to end. In fact, it may have already ended by the time this video goes up. I have no clue. Not video, audio, sorry. And if I sound different, it is because I am sick. I've got a sore throat going on right now, so I can't speak as clearly as I would like to. So I just want to kind of go over a few animes from the Winter 2020 that I found to be incredibly interesting to watch. I'll go over five. I think I'll go either over 5 or 6. I have no clue. I think I may do 6, and then I'll do 6 in Spring 2020 that I think are going to be quite interesting to watch, if there is that many. I'll be quite honest. Spring 2020, outside of the top 3 of my anime list that I'm looking at, there's not much else going on after that. So, let's go over some of the Winter 2020's animes that I found to be quite interesting to watch. The first one that I kind of want to talk about is one that I didn't expect to watch too much, and that is Darwin's Game. Darwin's Game is made by Nexus Studios, which if you have seen me in the Otaku Cast, you know that I kind of like to talk about studios. And Nexus is I looked at their lineup or whatever that they've had in the past, and I have not really seen anything outside of Comic Girls, and I've yet to finish that series. I think I'm only like 3, maybe 4 episodes in. And Nexus Studios really came together with Darwin's Game. I really like the whole action kind of feel to this, especially with the whole mystery behind it all. And I do have to say, I love how Sudo has, gotten himself into this weird game, and now he has to, fight players one-on-one, even, using superpowers, that are called seagulls, or I can't speak today, I'm sorry, seagulls. It's hard to pronounce that. But I really enjoy this series, and I'm still on the 6th episode, so I'm a little bit behind, but I'll try and catch back up to it pretty soon here. Most of these, all the animes that I'll talk about here, I've gotten at least over halfway, okay, in watching it, even if it, seems like all the episodes are completed or whatever to most people. So, next up on my list, this one I briefly talked about in the anime discussion for Eurocamp, and that's the spin-off series, not the spin-off, well, yeah, it's called kind of a spin-off series, the Heya Camp series, which is if you watch Eurocamp, you get these little, Heya Camp shorts at the end of each episode. There's a whole series on them, that was made in Winter 2020. They're only 3 minutes long, and that's the only issue that I have with it, is that they're only 3 minutes long, and it's only like 2 minutes or so of actual action going on. I want to say action, but it's like of actual things going on with the three girls, Aoi, Ugaki, and Narishiko. Those three are like the only main characters that are on there at all, and you rarely get to see Shibari in the entire series, which I don't. Which, you know, as much as I love me some Shibari, I can understand that she's not a part of the club, the Heya Camp Club, the Outdoor Activities Club. But I do love this series, even though it's like 3 minutes long. I kind of, what I like to do sometimes is I just tend to wait until like several episodes are out at once. Like I had to wait till the first 3 episodes were out so I could binge all 3 of those at once. So it could be about like 8 or 9 minutes of binging a Eurocamp thing. So yeah, that's what I kind of like to do. So as of right now, I'm only like 5 episodes in. So I'll catch up to that a little while later. It's just like I said, I kind of want to wait till there's more than like 2 episodes out at once for me to watch, because only seeing about 3 minutes of anything from Laid Back Camp, it doesn't cut out very well. But I enjoy the series, and I'm just waiting for season 2 and the movie to come out. I cannot believe that they're making a movie out of this and season 2 is not out yet, even though there's, well, like I said, this season 2 that's coming out. I hope to God that comes out pretty soon. If I had to take a wild guess as to when that's coming out, I want to say winter 2021. That's what I'm assuming, because, you know, the anime at the Laid Back Camp came out in winter 2018, so I would assume that they want to keep the winter route, but if not, then fall 2020 maybe? Question mark? Who knows? Just something to think about there. Another one that I just started watching not too long ago was the second season of Isekai Quartet. I found the first season of Isekai Quartet to be, well, amazing. combines 4 of kind of the most popular isekais at the time. Got Overlord, Kodasuma, Yujo Senki, and ReZero, and then you added the Rising of the Shield Hero this season, which the only issue I have with that is that they make a big deal about the Shield Hero coming in even before the second season ever aired. You know, in the last episode of this first season, we get, you know, a hint that's going to be the Shield Hero. And then, you know, you watch season 2, and it's like they're mainly supporting characters, I guess. It's like they're not really talked about. And I think in the third, is it the second or the third episode? I can't remember. Maybe it was the fourth as well. But, no, not the fourth. They were mentioned there. But it's like the third episode, there was like no mentions of the Shield Hero at all. Okay? The third episode had like none of them, I think. So, but I do enjoy the series. You know, a lot of people kind of diss it because it's just like, it's, a lot of people diss it for whatever reason, and I just say it's fine. You know, it's just like another thing that you would watch if you're bored, I guess. You know, it's not really, it's not like serious or whatever. Like, you could watch it and expect to see, like, you know, serious things going down, I guess. Just a bunch of it's basically comedy. So I don't know why people would complain about it. Now, this next one that I want to talk about is probably the most infamous anime to come out of this season, for a wrong reason, I guess. Ishu Zoku reviewers, or interspecies reviewers. Now, I definitely want to talk about this one for a little bit here, because outside of the first 2 episodes, I have not really seen much else out of it because it's kind of like I kind of want to binge it all in one go. So I'm waiting for more episodes to come out. And it kind of makes me sound a little weird that I would kind of like this kind of show, but I do enjoy this show a lot, okay? And excuse me. I love this show, okay? Passione Studios is probably I haven't seen much from these guys. I'll be quite honest. But Interspecies Reviewers is one of my favorite animes this season because of its whole like ecchi thing. It's so ecchi, it kind of steps over the line of Yasuga no Sora. If anybody knows that anime, you probably get what I'm talking about. But if you have not seen Yasuga no Sora, which I can't, okay, I'll say this right now. If you have not seen Yasuga no Sora, I can understand that because it came out about 10 years ago. It came out 10 years ago, okay? So, and many anime fans are probably haven't been fans of watching anime longer than that, okay? But Yasuga no Sora was one of the first ecchi shows that I watched outside of Why the Hell Are You Here, Teacher, and if you could count Domestic Girlfriend. But I don't think you can count that last one. So, anyways. For those that don't know about Yasuga no Sora, it's basically at the very... let me explain it like this, okay? Whoop, dropped my phone, sorry. If you step over the line of Yasuga no Sora in your anime, you're not making an anime, you're making a hentai at this point. Because in Yasuga no Sora, there is a bunch of softcore porn scenes, I want to say. In the best way I can possibly say it. It's basically so there's a lot of scenes, especially at the end of each arc, where it's softcore porn. And if you go any further than that, you are not making an anime, you're making a hentai with 12 episodes, as what Interspecies Reviewers is doing. At least that's what the studio is doing. I mean, Funimation licensed this thinking it wasn't going to be a licensed hentai. But it turns out that after the second episode, or the third episode, that's when shit hit the fan. The whole controversy comes out about how Funimation's just all like, we can't have this on our website because it steps out of our company's standards. And they just throw it away. Just leave it to the side. And they started, I cannot believe this. They started a dub. And then they canceled the dub. Now, I'm not so much like angry that they canceled the dub. I'm so much as to puzzles as to why. Why would they dub this? I'm not saying it's a bad series. It's just this series, I don't know if you would want to dub this kind of series where it's just ecchi stuff. But I will admit, I was kind of interested in the English dub, and I kind of wanted to hear what it was like. But it is unfortunate that, you know, it's no longer on Funimation. You have to go on illegal sites and stuff like that. I think I actually saw at one point that it was on... excuse me if you are younger than 18, I would not recommend checking out this website. There's that warning. But I think I saw like one person looked on Pornhub, and it was like one of the ones that were trending. It was like third or fourth trending. Maybe fifth. I can't remember exactly where it was at. But my God. I love the series, but man, that series. Now, before I continue on, I have two more left that I want to talk about. But a lot of shows in the winter 2020, I kind of want to say maybe winter 2020 is the season that a lot of people would like. I guess this season I'm saying this season as winter 2020. Sorry. had a lot of original shows that Spring 2020 just does not have for the most part, which is unfortunate. Okay, the top 6 in Spring 2020 are all like second seasons or up to the 5th season. Okay. So yeah, there's that. Winter 2020, I believe, only had like a couple sequels to it. I guess there were a few top ones like the Trigun series. Trigun series, yeah, I think that's what it is. And then the Hayuku volleyball series, which I'm still surprised is continuing on to this day. I haven't really gotten into that series yet, but yeah, there's that. So I'm only gonna mention 6 because I only want to really talk about Spring 2020 later on, and my thoughts and opinions on the upcoming season. So there's that. Let me quickly go through these next 2, because these next 2 I kind of think a lot of people will enjoy watching if they have not seen it already. The first one is Asteroid in Love, made by Doga Kobo, which is one of my, outside of Koito Animations, Doga Kobo is one of my favorite anime studios. Absolutely, they make some amazing stuff. Okay. If I were to go into detail as to what I love about Doga Kobo, it's their fluent animation, and it kind of shows in Asteroid in Love. I will not go into too much detail into the studio itself. I could probably make a podcast episode all about my favorite studios and why I love those studios. But let's talk about Asteroid in Love. This series is, I guess, Eurocamp, but for asteroids and space and even Earth science, actually. And I don't even like Earth science, or I don't even really study the stars that much. I mean, when I look up at the sky and I see there's stars out there, it's just like, oh, that's cool. There's some nice stars out there. Also, it's really goddamn cold out, because every time it's all like nice and cloudy, it's nice and warm out. But as soon as it gets starry, it's all freaking cold. But continuing on with Asteroid in Love, this series I would severely recommend watching. Out of every other anime series to watch this season, my favorite out of this season has to be Asteroid in Love. Maybe that's just because I haven't seen much of the other animes that I've just talked about, or most of the other animes that people would probably recommend out of the winter 2020, but you get my point. I do love Owl in Asteroid in Love. One of my favorite characters. Okay? It's weird because this is the second season, if you kind of think about it, this is the second season in a row where we've had... Was it winter 2019 when Ao-chen Can't Study came out? Because that was when I was first introduced to the whole ecchi category, I guess. It wasn't really like ecchi, it was just like comedy ecchi, where it was just like, oh, this girl is afraid of boys because, you know, they'll use her for sex and stuff like that. So yeah, there's that. But Ao in Asteroid in Love is probably one of my favorite girls. To be honest, all the girls are amazing girls, but for some reason, I don't know why, but some of these girls gives me a Hinako Note style vibe, I guess. And if anybody has not seen Hinako Note, I kind of recommend watching at least the first 3 episodes just to see what the anime is like. I don't know if I would say I'd recommend watching the entire anime series or not, because to be honest, I haven't finished that either. But that's up to you, I guess. I kind of enjoy the series, but at the same time, you know, it's kind of that series where it's just like, you watch it and it's just like, okay, I seen it, and then toss it to the side, I guess. But I haven't seen all of it yet, so there's that. So, Asteroid in Love, I would really recommend it if you are into like the earth science, the stars. I don't know what exactly it's called, because my mind has gone blank at the wrong moment. I'm sorry. But This last one that I want to talk about real quick. I want to say I was kind of hyped up about this series for a little while, and I didn't get started into the series till around the fifth or sixth episode of the series, and it's Nekopara. I don't know. I love this series. It's very comedic, and I love. Okay, I will say this though. I kind of want to play the visual novel to this, or the Arrowgate to this. I kind of want to play it, but I just couldn't. I can't find it anywhere, and I'm upset about that. You can call me a weeb, you can call me a degenerate all you want, but I played the Yusuga no Sora visual novel. Okay, I played that for about like 5 hours at one time. 5 hours straight one time. Okay, so yeah, I kind of like me some visual novels, even Arrowgates, I guess, but I'm not going into Cardino from Orimo. I'm not going to turn into her. God. Jesus. Anyway. And I don't know. It's just, I've seen a lot of stuff about this series where it's like, if you like Nekopara, you're probably a furry, or you're probably like, you like, sticking it into cats, or that sort of BS. It's just like, it's just an anime. It's just drawings. Just let us like what we like. I mean, I haven't seen Beastars, but I've seen a lot of clips on Beastars, and I enjoy what Beastars is. Okay? I personally haven't watched it yet, even though I'm probably thinking about watching it, because I believe the second season's coming out really soon. I don't know when. I don't know if that's spring 2020, summer 2020. Who knows? But continuing on about Nekopara. This is probably, I started it late, and, I kind of think it's okay. Okay, it's not, I was hyped about it for a little bit, and was I disappointed? Not really. It was just a series that's just like, okay, it's a series. Felix Film did an okay job at animating this, and I applaud them. Okay? I do applaud them for making this series. So I do recommend watching it if you are wanting to have kind of a fantasy style slice of life comedy, I guess. A little bit of ecchi sprinkled in there, I guess. That's up to you. I personally think it's okay, a little enjoyable, I guess. So let's finally get into the whole upcoming season. This season is God, I don't know. I'm hyped about summer 2020, which I will do a podcast episode on in the near future, discussing my thoughts and opinions on not only spring 2020 but summer 2020. And let me tell you, I can't tell the difference between spring and summer, whether I could be hyped up about it or not. Do I like spring 2020 more, or do I like summer 2020 more? I don't know, because I love both these seasons because of the upcoming animes that are coming out. If we're talking about summer 2020, Kanajo Okaidashimasu is probably one of my most hyped up series, because I've read the manga, and TMS Entertainment has some amazing things going for them if they can animate this right. Okay? But we're not talking about TMS Entertainment, or we're not talking about Kanajo no Okaidashimasu or summer 2020. We're speaking about spring 2020 real quick. So we're going to go over 6, I believe there's like 6 animes that I kind of find that I'll be interested in, or 6 that I kind of want to talk about, I guess, whether I'm interested in them or not. But there's only like 1 that I'm not really interested in. But I'll talk about that once I actually get to it. So we're going to start off with the most hyped up spring 2020 show. And that's Re:Zero Season 2. Now, I was told that this season will make the first season look like, quote unquote, a kid's show. I don't know whether or not to be terrified or excited about this or not. Because I love me some ReZero, and I found that first season to be incredibly entertaining to watch. But I do not know what second season has in store. And I've seen the trailer for this season. And let me tell you, Subaru walking through the Valley of Blood, as I like to call it, where it's just like, not a valley, it's just an alley of blood, where there's just people who are just murdered. There's just blood everywhere. Like the grass is all red or even dark red. It's just blood. You see Rem and Ram on the ground. You see Amelia and Puck. I think Puck was there on the ground dead. You see Felix dead, I believe. And then you just walk. You just see Subaru walking with like the most incredibly like I want to say angry, but also upset kind of face. It's just like he's pissed off at, the person who did all this, but he's also upset because he's walking through a bunch of dead bodies. It's like, it's kind of like somebody going into like war or something like that. They're walking and they're just seeing dead bodies left and right. Exact reaction, I guess. But I'm excited for this. But if I had to rank it, if I had to rank it in terms of, hyped upness, I'm more hyped about the next one, which is the third season of the Yahari Ore no Shushin Love Comedy wa Mashagiriru. I think I said that last one wrong, and I'm sorry. The Japanese is still terrible. But it is the third and final season of the My Romantic Teen comedy series. Oh my god, I'm so psyched for this. You have no idea how hyped up I am for this series. Because this series is one of my absolute favorites. Okay? And I've watched the first season and the second season. I guess I rewatched them like 2 times already, including the English dub, where, let me tell you, Adam Gibbs playing Hachiman is one of my favorite pairings, okay? Outside of a few other dubs that I've seen, Adam Gibbs is probably one of my favorite voice actors, okay? In terms of the English dub. I love that man. He's a good man. But this third season, I'm super excited about it, okay? I cannot wait to see this third season, okay? And a lot of people kind of diss this series because of the fact that it's made by Feel Studio and they are not, and their animation in season 2 is it's like, if you watch season 1, you go to season 2, and the animation just looks completely different. And then there's moments where, instead of like the typical like 15 frames a second, I think it's 15 frames, 15 or 30. It's not really smooth frame rate in anime. So I kind of want to say it's 15 frames because it's like you can definitely see where frames change. But then there's moments in the second season where it's just smooth as silk, 60 frames a second by Feel Studios. And I love that. I don't know why. I loved it. Because it kind of felt like the more serious scenes when, silky smooth animation became silky smooth animation. Made the serious scenes more serious, I guess you would say. And I love that. And for those who have not seen Yusuga no Sora, it was made by the same studio as My Romantic Teen Comedy, which is hilarious. As well as I think it was the same studio that made Kiss Excess, which is probably the most popular ecchi thing I've ever seen in my entire life. That's Interspecies Reviewers, but for... Let's not continue about that series. Let's not continue about that. But I'm excited to see where Hachiman goes from here. Okay? Now, have I read up to this point in the light novel? I have not. Why? Because I kind of want to see where the anime goes, and then I'll read the light novel from here. I also have the manga as well, if you haven't already noticed that. But I'll wait for that. Third on the list here, we got the second season of Kaguya-sama Love is War. And I found the first season really enjoyable to watch, and like I said in my anime discussion on Eurocamp, I have about like the first 7 volumes, probably the first 8 by the time I upload this, depending on how much money I got in my bank. I kind of want to save up though because of obvious reasons that I'm going to be traveling to Japan in June. But continuing on to Kaguya-sama, I'm excited to see where this second season goes. Okay. I'm excited to see what kind of fun is going to be had in the second season. Okay? I just want to see where this goes. I don't know what else to say other than I'm excited. Okay? More mind games are going to be played by our 2 favorite couple. I think, in my opinion, best couple of the year. My opinion, best couple of the year. Of 2019. Okay? Fuck the Crunchyroll Awards. It's personally my favorite. This next one here that I'm going to be talking about, though, it's not so much as I'm excited to watch it, it's just, it's there in case you haven't, I'm saying this in case you haven't already known about this. But it's Sword Art Online Alicization War of the Underworld second season. I have not seen a damn thing about Sword Art Online. And I don't think I plan on it. I don't necessarily hate the series, it's just I don't find it interesting. And, you know, if you love Sword Art Online, that's good. You know, I'm not going to diss your anime taste. Why would I ever do that? It's just, I don't find it interesting. That's all. This next one that I want to talk about here, I'm super surprised this has gotten a second season already. That's the Fruits Basket series. It took 10 years to remake the first season, and yet already we're getting the second season in less than a year, actually. About a year. Which I kind of find incredibly crazy. Because I kind of thought that they were just going to remake the first season and just say, well, here we are. We redid the first season. And that's it. But no, we got a second season of this, which is actually pretty cool. I haven't seen the first season yet, but it was one of the first animes that I added into my watch list. So I got to see where this goes. I have to actually catch up on Fruits Basket. So I do plan on watching this. I do plan on watching it, especially the second season. It's just I gotta catch back up on the first season. And the last one that I kind of want to talk about today is I don't know. It's just I found the first season to be quite interesting, and that's the No Guns Life series, which is getting a second season in spring 2020. I found the first season to be quite entertaining. And I don't know exactly what second season's going to be. Well, it's technically a second half, but yeah. I'm looking forward to the second season of No Guns Life. But all I gotta say is if you have not seen No Guns Life, I would recommend watching it because it is actually a pretty good series. And if we're actually talking about like original series, not original series, yeah. Well, series that that's not getting a second season, you know, actually having their first season done this year, or this one, you have to go all the way down to like 9th place, where you'll find an anime created by Silver Link, which is titled To My Next Life as a Villainess. All routes lead to doom, which I kind of find to be an interesting title, and the synopsis is kind of a little bit better too. The synopsis is an 8-year-old Katrina Claes is the only daughter of a duke, living her life peacefully and without incident until she hits her head on a rock, and then remembers that she is not actually the duke's daughter. She used to be an otaku who died on her way to school after spending the previous night playing Fortune Lover, her favorite Otomo Tame game. After noticing that her current surroundings seem oddly familiar, she is shocked to discover that she has been reincarnated into the world of Fortune Lover as the villainess. So this girl gets basically reincarnated into one of her favorite games, but as a villain. And that she's also 8 years old. Don't mention that. Okay. But that's the first season anime of the Spring 2020 series. Everything else, like above it, if you go on my anime list, is a sequel. Spring 2020 is going to be mostly known for its sequels and not so much of its, first season shows. I don't know the correct term for it right now. I'm sorry. So I think that'll conclude basically all that I have to say about, my opinions on this winter 2020 and the, opinions on the upcoming spring 2020 season. Now, I am excited as all hell for most of these series that are on the spring 2020 list. And I'm excited to see where all this leads to. Okay? Especially the ReZero and the My Romantic Teen Comedy third season and the second season of Kaguya-sama Love is War. And I hope to God that Ishigami finally gets with that girl in this anime. Because I read the manga and Ishigami kind of gets a girlfriend? I'm not sure. I don't know if I really want to say anything out of that. But if you enjoyed this podcast episode, please go ahead and click that follow button. And if you're watching this on YouTube or anywhere where there's a like button, please click that like button. And please enjoy the rest of your day. My name is Taylor Frey, and I am signing out. Good night, everybody.